Hey everybody, the Banga's back. Welcome to part 4 of Let's Play Genji, Dawn of the Samurai. So, if my voice or commentary sounds a little bit different, it is because I forgot my mic was muted, so the whole video had no commentary. Rather than just be lazy and try to put in like subtitles narrating what's going on, I figured I might as well just do the post commentary. There's a lovely Carmelia in bloom. Gazing at it brings me inner peace. Well, that's the most peace we're gonna be having in this place for a while. Although I imagine, like, the mountainous landscape is nice.
金色堂へ行かれるのですね。どうかお気をつけて。お二人が安心して修行を全うできるよう、私もできる限りのことはいたします。
すまない。面倒をかける。あと、皆鶴のことも見てやってくれないか。
わかりました。こちらへ来てから元気がありませんものね。
何があろうとも力を手に入れ兵士を撃つ。そこで待っていてくれ、静香様。
主権天様、どうかあの方たちにご加護をお与えください。
Yeah, I'm sure nothing will go horribly wrong once we're gone.
Yo.
Hey, how's your training going? I think the legend of Konchikito is a hoax anyway. Huh? If you want to know the details of the legend, I suggest you ask someone in town. By the way, if you want to sell your Amahagane, let me know anytime. Trust me, you do not have enough money for what we would be looking to have if we were to sell it, which we're not. I've heard about you from Lord Hidehira. Even the Heishi won't be able to lay a finger on you here in Hiraizumi. Put your mind at ease and work hard at your training. Okay. Konchikito is at the end of this hill to enshrine Shukenten. It is said that Shukenten appears when a person with the Amahagane goes there, but it seems a bit unbelievable. That's because you don't have an Amahagane. Who would let you have one? Yeah, I am a bit disappointed that I had to do post-commentary, because I rarely forget to unmute my mic. I had like a general meeting that I needed to take care of, which would require me to mute my mic so I don't accidentally talk during the middle of it or make noise. Well, I mean, you can mute it in Discord too, but I usually like to have a second layer of security just in case. Yeah, right now I'm just in the middle of talking to NPCs to get some more idea of what's going on. The town of Hiraizumi is quite large, so it's not so easy to patrol it. Oh, that reminds me. I saw a strange light when I was on patrol the other day. Where did I see it? Where was that? I feel like if it was something that strange, you would have just remembered where it was. But yeah, that doesn't really narrow it down much at all. Alright, so over here is where the shops are in this town. Oh, did you come from Kyoto? Why don't you have a look at what I got in the store? I got things you can't get in Kyoto. Alright, so it's mostly the same stuff because we don't have that many extra crafting materials. There are some new weapons. I didn't notice too much by way of armor because what we have is already quite good. But I guess that's not really a bad thing. Yeah, that sleeve of a large armor is part of the crafting materials. But I don't really have anything for it yet. That pairs with it, as I should say. So I guess I did end up getting the jeweled sword after all, because every little bit of extra attack is going to go a long way. Also, I did look into selling in some of my weapons as well, but I realized I wasn't going to get a lot of money out of it anyway. So yeah, it's like 200. Gave up on that in a hurry. Might as well take a sip of my tea. Hello there. What brought you out to Hiraizumi? Oh, I see. You're here to train in order to defeat Kitomori. I'm here to buy merchandise, but with the way things are in Kyoto, I think I might stay here for a while. Oh, this is just a temporary shop, but come again soon. Oh yeah, they got some new accessories there, like the Charm of Forest and Charm of Protection, which is just upgrades of the other stones. So I think I did get a Charm of Ice, because I had Lightning, and I had Poison. Maybe Flames I also had? Or something that would help with Flames? But since I was in, like, a snowy area, I figured Charm of Ice would have made more sense. Don't remember if I outright used it at all. I probably just had it for the sake of having it. Card is covered with a thin layer of snow. Well, they're definitely not using it now. Also, I was looking around to see if there was anywhere else I could go within town. This place is filled with overgrown weeds. It doesn't look like I'll be able to go any farther. Yep, because you're not allowed to use your sword in town or non-hostile areas, so therefore I cannot cut the weeds. Oh yeah, near the bridge was actually a path to some dock, or by the stream. But you want to hear the legend of Shukenten? Legend says there's a training ground here accessible only to those who are permitted by Shukenten. According to the legend, those who successfully complete the trials given by Shukenten are bestowed with any power they desire. Well, that's why we're going there. I think I was looking for Essence of Amahagane and didn't find any. There's some mysterious carvings on the wall inscription that says, "Return to this place upon completion, and the door to another dimension shall open." I'm guessing, like, completion of the trials of Shukenten? But maybe that's the light that the guard saw earlier. Maybe somebody else already completed the trials? But either way, it doesn't look like I'll be able to do much else in town. Whatever it is I need to do, I've already done it. Yeah, so up the hill is the way to Konjikido, which is where the next part of the story is. Also, we cannot go back to Kyoto. There's only 2 places we can visit. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right, they introduced you to, like, bugs or beetles? Okay, that was actually an accident when I pressed square, because I panicked and hit square too early. And it just so happened to be the exact time I needed to hit square anyway, so... I've said it before, and I'll say it again, it's better to be lucky than to be good. And needless to say, we're not getting a good welcome here. Getting attacked by statues. They're not here to roll out the red carpet, or pretty much any carpet. They're probably here to roll me into, like, mangled flesh. Yeah, that time I was not lucky. In fact, I don't even think I hit square at all. The good news is these enemies are not very strong. As long as you pick your spots, you should avoid getting hit too many times. You will notice that when you kill a statue, like, the spirits are going into the other ones. When they glow red, I guess they do more damage. Well, it's not rolling out the red carpet, but it was pretty close. I said I don't have to push the door open. Yeah, I think I was looking around for more essence. And I don't think I found any. God, the music here is actually really charming. For a game that really flies under a lot of radars, like, this game has got pretty nice visuals. And I want to say fly under the radar. I mean in the sense that there's hardly any guides for this on GameFAQs that are very fleshed out. Oh, there's Kagakio again, aka dark-haired Sephiroth.
欧州平泉か。こんなところまで来ることになるとはな。
厄介ですぞ。秀衡の軍は侮れません。くれぐれも慎重に行動され。
分かっておる。慎重にやってもすぐに肩がつく。
義経殿。
弁慶か。どうした？
静香様からここに来るように仰せつかりました。
静香様が？
天鋼を操りし者たちよ。光の門をくぐり我のもとへ来たれ。
この中に入れということか。
行けばその正体わかりましょうぞ。
Also, if we didn't, we wouldn't have a game. But yeah, I was, like I said, I was a bit surprised that this game did not get much by way of fleshed out guides. In fact, there was even one guide that called the essence of Amahagane a chick stone? Maybe that was what it was called in, like, other regions? I know this game does have a sequel, and I do have a physical copy of that as well. But I never played it yet.
見事なお堂ですな。
こんなところになぜこのようなものが？
義経、弁慶。
先ほどの声と同じ。
何やつ？姿を見せよ。
私は主権天。この世に姿なき者。そなたたちがここに来た理由は分かっている。天鋼が悪しきことに使われようとしている今、それを打ち破ることができるのはそなたたちだけ。
ここに来れば力を手に入れられると聞いた。それは本当か？
我らには時間がないのだ。
力。それすなわち天鋼の持つ強大な力。天鋼に宿る強大な力を操るには、それにふさわしい強き心を持たねばならぬ。強き心を持たぬ者はその力に飲まれ、やがて自分を見失ってしまうであろう。そなたたちが天鋼を持つ者としてふさわしいか否か試させてもらおう。弁慶、そなたは地下深くに眠る社から。義経、そなたは天高くに浮かぶ神殿から。天鋼を手にして再びこの場に戻ってくるのだ。そなたたちが見事この試練を乗り越えることができたなら、望む力を与えよ。さあ、行くがよい。
Alright, so we gotta do like one trial as each character. It looks like you could probably have Yoshitsune go to both of them, but I don't think he'd be able to complete the one on the right. Maybe later on I'll test that theory. Oh yeah, I do remember this one looking really, really pretty. Like, you're just up in the heavens with floating platforms. And I think I had some gripes here because Genji is not really known to be a platforming game. As seen here. Whee! Ow, face planted. So yeah, you get here a penalty zone. Meaning if you mess up, oh my god, ice hurts you a lot in this. And it knocks you down. So I guess if you bought the Charm of Ice, this would be very handy here. I don't know if that actually keeps you from getting frozen at all, but it might just nullify some damage. And that's it. So yeah, every time you fall down here, you'd have to face these enemies. Every time. And I think around here is when I was like looking around to see if there were any items or stall to let the Charm of Healing do its work. And I think maybe around close to that time, I just gave up and just waylaid on that monkey statue. Because it'll take you way too long. Like, maybe you get 4 HP every 5 seconds. And if you've taken well over 100 damage, that's way too much time. But what am I, if not stubborn? Other than a miserable pile of secrets. It did look like there was a box over there, so it was worth checking out. Also, yeah. Remember when I said that Genji is not a platforming game? If there was any section that proved that theory correct, this would be the one. Like, you can't just walk onto the platform when it's nearby. You have to jump on it. But you don't have that much control of your jump in midair. So you pretty much have a Simon Belmont jump where you jump in one way, and I'm pretty sure you commit to it. Also, just finishing up my tea there. I try not to have coffee after 5 p.m. Because, yeah, it's like 9:50 p.m. right now. And I was hoping to have this video rendered by, like, close to 10 p.m. And unfortunately, yeah, my mistake, means I can't do that. Oh, yeah. This is where I pretty much used the Akamui too early. So none of them were like, oh, what the hell is that guy doing? I just find it very funny how your Kamui, depending on when you use it, is just ineffective. And you waste a meter for it. Yeah, and over here I was gobsmacked that I got an Essence of Amahagane. Given this is not even my first time fighting that particular mob. And I was able to get a reward for it. The only reason you would want to have lots of Essence of Amahagane is just so you can get, like, free full heals. Like, don't even bother to use it for attack or defense. Just use it on HP. Oh my god, I was so mad that I thought I was going to be able to get on there. And this is where it gets frustrating because you have to, again, you have to do this every single time. And it's not like it's a fight that gets over in like 5 seconds. Yeah, here I was checking to see how much experience I had left. Because you do get all your health back when you level up. But yeah, this fight takes like maybe 20 seconds or so. Yeah, adding on a little run back like this, jumping on like 3 platforms does not help either. So yeah, I think that was my 4th attempt and I failed. This was not a fun time. Like, this was, I think, the low point of the entire video. Having to do something like this. Like, you have to do this over and over until you get it right. And I think around this point I like started doing worse. Like I was able to make it on the first floating platform, I think the 3rd attempt. And then over here, I just start like going backwards. Yep, actually I did level up here. So yeah, I was pretty lucky that I was able to get enough experience just to not have to worry about healing during this. Because the enemies were not dropping any green orbs. Alright, so I think this was attempt number 5. I lost count how many times that was. But yeah, I'm doing this just for one treasure chest, and once again, I just shag it up, because it is not as easy as it looks. Again, you have barely any control of where you're jumping. You just gotta hope you're somehow facing the direction you want, and even then you might go off a few degrees. And you have, I think, no shadow either? So it's even harder to know if you made the jump or not. And then again, even if you did have a shadow, you can't really adjust in midair. So that doesn't help either. But yeah, I was just so frustrated at this part, because that part there with the floating platforms is optional. Also, if you notice in the bottom right, there's like another drop, which has a jar, and I don't even know what was in it. But I did get the black steel, which is armor for Yoshitsune. And to tell you the truth, I felt it was all worth it. Because look how much your defense increases when you put it on. Goes up by 14. I mean, straight 14 extra defense. And you got black and white attire, why not? So yeah, there was something over there and I missed the jump. And to be honest, I was not looking to try again. I just had to convince myself that what was down there was not worth it. I might have considered it if those enemies could have been one-shot by my attacks. But I have no idea how many levels I'd have to gain and how many new swords that I have to get for that to happen. So at that point, I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go the other way. You know, the way I'm supposed to go. Okay, they don't even give you as many monkeys to fight here. At least not all at once. So I have to face enough of these monkeys in the punishment room that I already had a good feel for this encounter. So that was just nothing. But yeah, the PS3 sequel, like maybe sometime after this gets published on YouTube, I would consider like doing a playthrough of it, but again, I have so many playthroughs I need to cover as is. My master list of potential games to Let's Play is like at a staggering 5,000 plus games. I'm not even kidding. Of course, maybe some of them will just never be played at all. Idir et netalf enots hute ikneb, which is Ride the Floating Stone with Benkei. You know, Ivan et Niage. It's just backwards. So that tells me you can come here with Benkei. Unless there's somehow only floating stones in the underworld shrine. Oh, here's a new enemy. I don't know if there's like a big monkey. Yeah, I think it is a big monkey, because at first I thought it was like a horned rabbit. It was just really, really large. But at least this one has like more telegraphable attacks, and I don't think it throws ice balls at you. So it's just another case of picking your spots. Like, don't try to go in swinging right away unless you know they finished an attack animation. Also, I think that scream, that battle cry, summons more. I guess if you really want to level grind so fast, Just keep the big enemies alive. They'll keep summoning minions. You keep killing the minions, and then you can just rinse and repeat. But if you were to do that, you might as well just leave the section and then come back. Everything respawns anyway. Oh, right, the Beatles are back. I'm not talking about the band. So I think I was hacking away at these for a while because these are a good way to like stack kills in a row, and that time I was not ready for them. So I kept killing them over and over, and I thought, oh, they're gonna stop coming back. Like, surely they'll just run out. And I think it was like a few seconds later when I noticed there was a hive, which almost looked like a camera. And that time I knew, like, oh yeah, there's the hive. So I should probably attack it. I mean, look at the staggering amount of kills you can get just by camping on that hive. What beautiful wind chimes. The wind must have withered them, or weathered them. Yeah, and that time I tried to hit them to see if they can make music. Maybe that's something Benkei can do because he has a hammer or like blunt weapon, which is obviously not a hammer. I don't know why I thought a hammer. A potion of warding. Protects against calamities and increases defense against all elements. That might come in handy against an enemy or a boss that likes to use magic. Whether I actually use that in the playthrough, I guess we'll never know. Because I did not record an episode after this. FYI. Well, maybe by the time you're watching this video, I probably did. But at the time of recording this post-com, definitely not. Yeah, I think around here I was just, like, killing enemies until they're all gone, and then I opened the box. Granted, like, if you press circle on a box, it opens immediately. There's no delay. Bead of red flames. It provides fire resistance. So yeah, if I didn't have any, like, other resistance on that, I would have had it now. Also, I didn't even know that my sword was glowing. Like, that time, I was just swinging at the wall thinking I could break it. Or, like, cause, like, some kind of feedback to let me know it can be broken. And then just happened to be an essence right there. Happy little accidents. Here I was looking for even more essence, because you can never have too many. You can only have not enough. That's my theory. I mean, honestly, look how high up we are. So of course, now we have to face another mob of, like, little monkeys and the big monkey. As long as the big guy is not enraged, you should have less to worry about. Because, yeah, even if it hits you, it doesn't really do that much. And I think that's because of the black steel armor. Wait, did I get one? It looked like I had two. Of course, that was just more wind chimes. And over here, you can actually save your game. Which I very much did. Because I was not looking to do that other platforming part again. I mean, would you? Hell no. Alright, I guess all that's left is to go through that gate. Alright, so this is pretty much an ice boss. It looks like Shiva or something? Basically, this is the one where you might want to use your Charm of Ice. If you had a hard time telegraphing the ice attacks, which you really shouldn't. That time I was trying to use the Kami and it didn't work out. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like a Buddhist deity. I want to say Shiva, but it's probably not. Yeah, I don't know too much about like the Buddhist deities or whatnot. Even though I have played SMT before. All I know is that that lady wants me dead. But I don't want me dead. Even though I didn't really do a great job, like, you know, avoiding her attacks. Except for the ice. That time, I pressed square after the first teleport, but I didn't wait for the second one to start. But yeah, the ice itself doesn't really do much as long as you're moving. But yeah, I don't remember this being a hard fight at all. As long as you're picking your spots and knowing to block, which I did not do there, you should be alright. Get in a few hits, dodge, get in a few more hits, dodge. Or, you know, tank it out, like I probably decided to do at the end. And eventually you will win. I don't know if that flame sword would have done extra damage. But I think its base attack would have been too weak. There, a bead of blue ice. Provides ice resistance, you know, after you defeated the ice boss. That's just like fighting a boss that poisons you every 2 seconds. Like, oh, now you can resist poison now. And then you find out it was the only enemy that did poison in the entire game. Too bad I can't drink any of that water. I mean, it would have been common sense to do that, so you don't, you know, like, run too low on health. I can see the road that I was on. How incredibly high. Good thing Yoshitsune does not have vertigo. Starts puking, is like, oh, what the hell? Yoshitsune, you alright? I guess your training hit a rough spot? Hit some turbulence? Should we get you a bag before you go? But yeah, getting 2 level ups here is always a nice touch. And there we go, more platforms. And to make things worse, these are the ones that fall. And that time I was just on reflex. I didn't even know there were like other moving platforms on the side. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, there's my chance, I'm gonna go for it. And I got the water serpent sword. So yep, it's an ice sword. As soon as I thought anyone struck by the blade freezes, I got a little excited. Because I mean, the fire sword that I had before was lighting enemies on fire. So I was thinking if this can, like, freeze them, why not? Oh. Apparently my monitor just went black. Because I didn't move the mouse in a long time. Hopefully that will not mess up with the post-com. And there I missed my jump. Epic faceplant again. Only this time, there are bugs. Lots of bugs. Okay, maybe not so much bugs anymore. But yeah, I think around that time I was deciding if I even wanted to equip the sword because I was already facing enemies that could freeze me. And I was thinking they would resist that sword. And I was like, maybe they won't resist it. And if it just does less damage, I'll deal with it later. Well, I figure this would be a good time to test it out. But yeah, sadly these monkeys, they don't really get much freeze out of it. There I got a lucky parry out of that. When you actually hit them just right, without needing to use Kamui. That's always so satisfying. Because there, you have to really be good on your timing. So I think around here I wanted to get on the other moving platform, but that required me to wait it out. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, let's go. And there, I actually made that one on the first try. That was oddly satisfying. Over here we got... Yeah, it was 1,000 gold. So that one was not as worth it as I thought. But then again, you don't really make a lot of money in this game. So if you can get like some easy cash, it'll go a long way. And with that, we found another save point, so definitely take advantage of that. Which I did. Because I am not crazy. Maybe more paranoid than crazy, let's be real. Alright, I believe over here is where you gotta... That's the last leg of Yoshitsune's quest. Yep, we have another boss battle on this floating island. Yeah, as soon as I saw this, like, oh my god, that's Ho-Oh from Pokemon. But yeah, this big bird is Yatakarasu. You know, that crow spirit in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yatakarasu was a crow? This one really looks like a rainbow phoenix. So yeah, you just gotta hit it on its body. Most of the time, you're just aiming for the head. So you just gotta wait around for it to get in position. You can use these ruins to hide behind to protect yourself, even though that one went through, which is bullshit. It's actually much harder than it looks to attack the legs. Unless you get really in there. But yeah, as you can see, the Ice Sword is actually quite effective. So then here I was like, I'm not gonna bother to hide if it's not gonna work. So I started running around and it did work. Oh yeah, that earthquake attack, you had to land on top of the ruin posts to avoid getting quaked. That time, I didn't know what the timing was. The fireballs are actually very easy to dodge. As you saw there. That time I was like pretty much in midair, and it still got me. So that was annoying. Alright, that time I tried Kamui, and I don't really notice it working there, because I did not see square at all. At that point I was like, yeah, let's use a Tengu Herb. Also, it seems like it didn't kick in again. Yeah, don't get too aggressive during that part. Just take your time and you will win. That time I actually hit our L1 again to slow down time even more. And I didn't even get another square prompt. I think that's because I was facing the wrong way. So they actually ask you to face forward. But yeah, spoiler alert, I did not get the steal with Kamui for this boss. At that point, I was like, I'm giving up, and I just want to fight it. I don't even know what happened there. Like, I just hit an invisible wall. I'm a bit lucky I had enough time to hit it in the head a few times. And there you go. Yeah, Yatagarasu is not that tough. I think some of the human bosses are tougher. There, Yatagarasu's Amahagane. So that's his trial done.
試練を打ち破り、天鋼を手に入れたぞ。
Also, we got the Jeweled Sword of Gold. So I don't know if Yatagarasu would have given that to me anyway if I stole from it. Or maybe that's just a fixed drop. Either way, we got something for crafting later.
よくぞ戻った義経、そなたの力しかと見届けた。まずは持ち帰った天鋼を寄せ金し、さらなる力とするがよい。
Yeah, now we just gotta go back to our stronghold.
今日はちょっと変わった知らせを持ってきたぜ。源頼朝って知ってるか？
鎌倉にいる義経殿の兄君であるな。
名前だけは聞いている。一度会ってみたいとは思うが、今はそれどころではない。
そうかい。まあ話ってのは、そいつが兵を挙げて平安京に向かい始めたらしいってことだ。あんたらが強くなっても頼朝さんが先に兵士を倒しちまうかもしれねえ。無駄なことはやめてここに腰を落ち着けちゃ。
兄上は天鋼を持っているのか？
それはないであろうな。
天鋼を持たぬ者が兵士に勝てるわけがない。急いで修行を終えるぞ、弁慶。兄上を無駄死にさせるわけにはいかない。
Why don't you let Benkei finish his first?
義経様、主剣天様の命により寄せ金の儀を執り行います。
That never gets old.
義経様、
With Otohiko's help, Minazuru is slowly returning to her old self again. Leave Minazuru to us, and please work hard at your training, your Yoshitsune. If something should happen to your Lord Yoshitsune, as it did to Lord Hogen, I shall... Forgive me for overstepping my bounds. Please forget what I just said. I already did. And I read it twice. Alright, let's save it up, and this would be a good time to end the episode. Again, I do feel bad that I missed out on showing the live commentary, but whatever. Mistakes have been made. They'll probably be made again. See you later.